Cape Coral Police detectives have made an arrest in the death investigation from 505 Southwest 49th Lane that originated on July 18th. Cape Coral Police have arrested Leroy James Taylor Jr. on charges of second-degree homicide in the murder of his father, Leroy James Taylor Sr. On July 18th at roughly 11:30 a.m., Cape Coral police officers responded to a call from a gentleman who had arrived at Leroy Taylor Sr.'s home, checking on the 91-year-old's well-being. The caller discovered Taylor lying on the floor of the home deceased. It was later determined by the Lee County Medical Examiner's Office that Leroy Taylor Sr. had died as a result of blunt force trauma to the head and chest. Cape Coral police detectives began their investigation, and detectives learned that Taylor's son, Leroy Taylor Jr., flew to New York out of Southwest Florida International Airport on July 18th on an 8 a.m. flight. Our detectives flew to New York to speak to Leroy Taylor Jr. New York State Police investigators assisted our detectives while we were in New York State. Evidence collected at the crime scene here in Cape Coral, as well as evidence collected in New York, was processed. The results of the analysis provided our detectives with probable cause to arrest Leroy James Taylor Jr. on charges of second-degree murder. Earlier this evening, Taylor was located at his father's residence of 505 Southwest 49th Lane and taken into custody without incident. He was brought to the Cape Coral Police Headquarters for processing, and later he will be taken to the Lee County Jail. This case was challenging from the start, and our detectives and forensics personnel began putting the pieces together, taking them from Cape Coral to New York and back. In the end, an arrest was made, and we again proved why our detectives and forensics personnel are some of the best in the business. We now put the case in the capable hands of our partners, the prosecutors at the State Attorney's Office. I'll entertain some questions if you have any.
Do you have his date of birth?
I'm sorry?
Date of birth?
For the suspect?
Yeah.
It is 12/21/57.
Do we have any sense of motive at this point?
No, we don't. Not to release. We do, but we need to leave that for the prosecutors.
And can you give us an idea of the murder weapon? Was it like a bat or?
We don't have that to release. I'm sorry.
Can you go into what led you to New York State and how the investigation went up there?
We went up there because our detectives learned that Mr. Taylor Jr. flew to New York.
We're at in New York.
Upstate?
You have a city?
I don't have it.
The Binghamton area, how's that?
Anything north of New York City is upstate, having been from there.
Initially there was a report of a smell of gas from the home. Is there anything to that?
Recapping now, they have arrested the son of a murder victim in Cape Coral. Leroy James Taylor Sr. was found dead in his home about 2 weeks ago. Cape Coral police saying they arrested his son in New York. They have charged him with second-degree murder. We have a reporter at that press conference, and we'll have more information for you coming up in just a few minutes.